Michelle walked along the windy path at the edge of her property as carefully as she could. Each step was measured, careful not to make even the slightest of sound. She was aware of every fallen leaf, pine tree needle, stick, and rock, anything that could give away her location. She suddenly heard a rustling in the bushes, and her eyes darted over in that direction. Her heart was racing. A bead of sweat came down her forehead and almost got into her eye. As she slowly came around the bend, what she saw horrified her. Her trusty pointer Roxwald was pointing at her. Then the forest seemed to explode, and a black figure knocked her off her feet. A black panther stood over her and let loose a furious roar, followed by a furious bout of face-licking. "You traitor!" she laughingly said to Roxwald, as he too tried to join in on the face-licking. "You're supposed to point at him, not me. And you, Claude, how am I supposed to ever win this hunting game when you cheat and use a helper?" "Talking to the animals again, huh?" Michelle's mother, Pearline, walked down the path with an elegance that Michelle always wished she could imitate. "You know me, Mom. I have better conversations with the animals than some people," Michelle said. She still couldn't get over the fact that her mother looked so young and radiant and full of happiness. "What a wonderful God you are, Jehovah," she thought every time she saw her mother. "By the way, Mish," Pearline said, interrupting Michelle's train of thought, "I was watching you two play your hunting game. Claude saw you a while ago and was stalking you. He seemed afraid of being seen before he could make his move. But I saw what I thought was a signal to Roxwald to point at you. Yep, it looks like Roxwald has found a new master." The two laughed, and Michelle's nose suddenly crinkled. "What is that I smell?" she asked. "That is a batch of apple pies I'm baking for the festival. But I baked an extra one so you can have it early. You've got the body of a 25-year-old, but you eat like you did when you were 16. I guess you need it for all those hours you spend out here playing with your cat." And right then, Claude jumped in front of them, crouched, tail swishing rapidly back and forth. His eyes were locked on Michelle. "Well, it looks like somebody wants some exercise," Pearline remarked. "Oh no, Mom, I've got to get that apple pie first. There's no way I can resist that smell." "Oh no, young lady, there's no way you're going to bring Claude into my house in that state. He'll bring the house down on its foundation." Pearline attempted to give a stern, motherly look, but the smile crept through. "Don't worry, Mish. I'll make sure that apple pie's still warm and fresh when you get back." "Okay, Mom, you win," Michelle said. She then put 2 fingers in her mouth and started to let loose a high-pitched whistle, but her horse, Goldendale, was already galloping toward her. Her and her mom's jaw dropped. They both realized that Goldendale must have been nearby, saw Claude's body language, and anticipated what would be needed next. The intelligence that the animals possess still amazes me. And even 100 years into the new world, the animals surprise us almost every day. Michelle mounted Goldendale, and they galloped full speed into the forest, with Claude hot on their heels. "You make sure you go the full route. Don't you go taking any shortcuts so you can get to this apple pie any faster, young lady. I know how long it should take," Pearline yelled at them as they rode away. Michelle laughed inside. So many things have changed in this new world, but many things have also stayed the same. And as her stomach growled, she realized that even here in the new world, the fruitages of patience and long-suffering had to be applied. But when she looked at her panther and saw the joy in his eyes as he ran alongside her, she remembered that anything she gave Jehovah came back 100-fold. And this moment was the perfect example of that. That is the first chapter.